to our second video. This is now the continuation of our previous video, which is related to the connection using the eclipse, when we successfully connected using the GDBC through the MySQL. So before you continue with this video, make sure that you have created already the database connection like this. Already created the database. So in my case, I already had here the name of my database is bookshop data, and the name of my table is actually book price. Okay, and make sure that what you call this one, the structure, you had the book ID, the title, the author, edition, publication, and price, and you should follow the type and make sure the book ID is in auto increment option. Okay, so I assume that you are done creating with your database and the table, and you already set up your database connection as well. Now, as you can see here, the book ID text field is not enabled. It's because we don't want the user to edit it. It should be auto generated. That's the reason why we set it to auto increment. Okay, now this one is enabled. Then how to do that? Example here in the design. Let me go back first in the Eclipse where I can see the design. As you can see, the editable option here is set to false, and the enabled is also set to false, meaning if I'm going to click on this one, then later we can just enable it if we want to make an update. Example, if I'm going to click update, oh no, since this is auto generated and it does not allow duplication, what we want to update only the type here on the other text fields, on the specific field want to enable. So what we're going to do, we try to fill in the details here, and when we click the save, it will be stored into the database. But for now, let's focus on these two buttons, the save and the clear option, and then the next video we will apply the update and delete option. Okay, so click this one, the save, and here we're going to create a function called register, and we will call this function, but since we hadn't created this one yet, we need to create what we call create a method called a function, okay, in the main app. So it will be put here below. Okay, so this is where we're going to type our code for the register option. Okay, so I hope that you will be able to follow. Now what I'll be doing, I need to declare here the string for the book title. So the keybind for this is the text title, then get text, okay, then and Oops, not, it should not be selected, it's just get text. Okay, I think I'll just copy this one, then I don't need to put title, and I will change this to author, then this one to author. Take note the way I type the text author here is actually depending on what you have set in here in your design. Example, in the title, okay, as you can see, a text title here, it's a text author, so it should be exactly the same as for the edition, publication, and the price. So for this is the search text field. Alright, now let's go back here. So I'll just copy again, and the other one, this is edition. I'll just copy, and this is also edition. Okay, next is the publication. Okay, so you can type it faster if you do this way. I'm going to call this one publication, and this is publication. Okay, what else? Oh, the price. So we need to incorporate here the price. We're going to use the float because we will allow the user to enter with the decimal point. So in this case, call the book price, set to float. Then we need to convert it as float, and then we call in the text price that we set, then get text. We get the value in that one. Oops, why is this one keep on showing? Okay, delete this option. Okay, so we need to close this one as well. Okay, so we're set now with our declaration. So the next thing that we're going to do is create the try and catch. So it's a good practice to always, what you call this, what put a try and catch. Now since we will connect and to our existing database in here, using the database connection, as you can see, I already changed this into bookshop data because that's the new database. Okay, so I assume that you're already set up and you're already done creating your database connection for this one. So if you haven't, you can review the part 1 video on how you can create connection for this one. Okay, so let me go back now here and continue. So inside the try, okay, it's important to put the connection, referring to the connection, previous one, connection, then I'll be calling the database connection, the one that we created, and database connection.java, then colon get connection. Okay, so in this case we need to end it. Okay, so what is next? Okay, what do you think is next? Can you make a case? Hmm? What do you think is the next part of our code? Okay. After trying to put the get connection, we need to type prepared, oops, prepared statement. Then for now, we'll just declare it as PS, or shortcut for prepared statement. This is just a new constructor, new object. You can't put any name in here. But the prepared statement is a keyword. But now we're calling down the connection. Okay, referring to this one, as you can see, whatever you have set up in your database connection file, it should be exactly the same. All right, let's continue. Now here you type prepare statement. Oh, sorry. It should be uppercase. Oh, sorry. Letter S, statement, and this is where you insert now the command in SQL. That's the reason why we need to, this is the syntax, the prepared statement to execute the SQL command. Since we are trying to incorporate the MySQL here, and there is also a specific command when you perform the SQL. Example, if you want to record the data or insert the data into our database, in here, insert the data into our table, what we need is to use the command called insert. Okay, where am I? So it should be inside in a double quote. Type here insert and to, then we will be calling our database book shop data, then the name of, followed by the name of the table. So I call it book price. But if you had a, let's say, let's try to double check whether we are having the correct, okay, that's we had there. Okay, now book price. Then after that, we need to, what do you call this one, add again another parenthesis. So inside here we had to specify the title, example title. So the ID wouldn't need to include the book ID because it's auto increment. All we need to do just those fields that requires input from the user. So in this case we put the author, the edition, publication, the price. Then after that, so these are the field names that we will be asking the users to enter. We will extract the data based on the user's input. Okay, that's why here it should be followed with the command values, and this is also the syntax and the SQL when you want to insert values. Okay, so here, since there are how many, it's 1 2 3 4 5, then we have to add here question mark. Oh no, it should be inside the parentheses, should it? Comma, then another question mark, comma, question mark, because we don't know what's the value. But if we want to have the fixed value, then we replace this question mark with the value. But since we are depending on whatever the user will input, we had to replace this with question mark. Okay, so that should be dynamic. Okay, was 4 and 5. So you can see how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for the values. Now at the end we need to, oops, where did I finish it? Did I put the values, the question mark? Okay, there's some error in here. Then I make a semicolon and ends with, okay, then comma. We will add again the word prepared statement. Okay, we need to add the prepared statement, this option. What's the value? Okay, we can put here prepared statement, because we're not yet done, dot return generated keys. Okay, we just need to finish this, and here we need to identify what do we want to insert. Okay, what do we want to insert? Okay, just trying to make a review with my code. Okay, here when we say return generated keys, this is depending on the user. So we call in again the PS, the one that we just created, set the string, then okay, the value was the first one. So 1, this is the parameter, the index, so it will start from, so this is parameter 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. Okay, so we have to start with the book title. I'm going to put this one as book title. Okay, then another one. So I think I'll just copy this and I put this on 2, and what's the next is author. Then this is number 3, this is the edition, and 4, this is the publication. Okay, and lastly the price. As you can see, the book ID we didn't include it because it will be automatically be generated in the database, so we don't need to include that one. Oops, book price, oops, I forgot. So as you can see, this one is get error because the price is not a string, so this is set to float. Okay, now after that we will execute this prepared statement, type ps execute. Okay, and then semicolon. But before we continue, I'm adding some error in this option, which is connection database get connection. So why are we syntax error on token? Delete this one. All right, try. We exceeded. Okay, sorry. I hmm okay. Okay, we'll just finish it later. Okay, I will just finish typing it. Anyway, we can just what do you call this one? Make some adjustment. Okay, let me just finish it. Okay, now the execute. Next, we will try again. Another option, prepare and to okay, well, I will just try to finish up with this one. I think this prepared connection. Let me so can see it clearly. So it's really important before you can proceed is try to check your code, because sometimes we can see the error where the error is. It's really part of what they call this one. And the code is quite long. That's just normal. And make sure everything, the spelling, okay, there should be no some problems. It really happens, so never give up. I know some of you, when you do something, you easily get irritated, okay, when you're not able to run your program right away, but that's just normal. Okay, just need to check. Okay, I'm trying to double check the code that I had, what do you call this one, created. Okay, let me just put it here. Okay, I'm just making an adjustment so I can see it clearly. just okay to get some errors sometimes, just normal. Okay, when it's after the execute, okay, you need to have another code in here. Okay, so we'll try again. Because we haven't created the catch yet, we need to finish on this option first. Okay, now here we type the result set. Just want to make this one bigger so you can see it clearly. Okay, in result set, since the ID is generated, this will create generated keys equals to PS, so that later it will extract the generated keys, okay, which is for the ID. Okay, inside here the condition would be if generated keys next, meaning it's a number. Okay, generated keys next, it's an integer. Generated book ID equals to generated keys get int, then it has to start with 1. Start with 1. Okay, then text, we're going to call the text with id set text, then we will convert into string value of generated book ID. Okay, so at this part of the code we are trying to set the book ID field. Okay, textbook, oh, forgot that I added letter F, capsa. Okay, forgot letter F because it's a search option. It depends on what you put in your design. Now in the else option, okay, let me adjust this one. Oops, sorry. In the else option, then let me open it. Not yet done. In the else, we will handle the case where no joint case will return. Okay, J option pane, then show message, dialog. So I'll just put here, just put here now. Error and no book ID generated. The records. So I'll just put that one as under records. Then close it. Okay, so we're done with our else. Here we will be adding here the J option, pane, show message, dialog. Then we can also call here, let's say, just call the none, the successfully, what was this, successfully recorded. Have to add successfully recorded and then semicolon. Okay, we can add that one, and then here we will add the cuts option. Okay, we need to add cuts, SQL exception, then X we need to add again. Of course, we'll just use G option, pane, show message again, message box, oh no, dialog. Okay, and just got this one, error, so I need to get the error message, but you can also specify the error. For now, I'll just get the specific error by calling it, then get localize message. Okay, so we're almost done. Now next is we have to add finally. Finally, we're going to close the database connection after we, okay. See, there still have some error. Okay, let's try to work out on this. Yeah, let's find out. Okay, let's try to find out. Okay, run. Let's double check. Yes, it's the main app. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to call this one object. It's a object oriented programming. The author is unknown. Then this is second edition. Publication, let's say the 2023, the price is 8,575. Then let's try to check. I'm hoping there will be no error. Let's try to click the save. Oh, there you are, successfully recorded. Great. Now if you notice, I already had number here, which is 2, so this is the generated value because of the keys. The record 1 has been added already because I already tested this one. Okay, now let's try to check the the value. Okay, if we inserted into our database, there you have it. So this is our record 1 and this is the record 2. So you have here the value. Wow, it's working. See, that's now the next thing that we're going to do is to add a clear option. When I click this one, it will clear the records here. Okay, So let's continue on that one. Okay. Uh-huh. Now, where do you think should I add the clear option? I think when after successfully recorded, supposed to be it will call the clear all the fields. Meaning we're going to create a function called clear fields. Say here we're going to clear fields. So this is a function or a method. Now for now this one is not working yet, okay, because we still have to create a function for this. So what will I be doing is click on this one and create a method. Okay, I'm going to create a method. Where's now the create a method? This one. Okay, what do you want to clear? I had to make the text title set text to empty. Okay, this should be empty. Okay, copy, and this one author. Okay, next is the edition. Next is the publication. And lastly, the price. And of course, we also need to include the book ID. I forgot. That's book ID. Set text to empty. Okay, I guess we're all set to go. Now let's try to run this one again. Okay, after clearing all the fields, going to clear. Let's try. Okay, it's cleared now. But if I want to, okay, before I go into that, let me save this one up. I want to make the field for this one bigger. So I want to see it clearly because it's too small. Maybe I should set the font to 18 and make it bold. Okay, there have it. Okay, so I guess if we want to add, oh, before I forgot, I should also copy this one, clear field, since we already had it here. I would copy that. So in the clear field, we'll just add this one instead. Okay, so when I click the button clear, it will clear, which say it will also clear up. So it's a good practice that when you click save, it should be clear and the button should be clear as well. Okay, let's try to add another records then. Oops, I haven't saved it yet. Oh wait, I need to compile first. Was it compiled right? Well, I'm not sure. Let's say this is data structure and this is per just a sample. This is the first edition. Publication year, let's say I'm going to put this 2024. Price is $7.50. Click save. Okay, it is automatically, it's now book ID 3 successfully. Oh, this should be successfully recorded, not successfully record. Okay, let's just try to make an update on that. Also, see, it's clear now. Okay, it's automatically clear. Then that's it. I guess that's all for this one. Now you have all the references, so you can continue with the rest. Okay, so you can do more on this one. You do the update, delete. I already give you the say clear, so it's your job now to do the update, delete, and the book ID. But actually here, okay, before we go into that, let's try to check whether it's been added already. Added already. I have 3 records now. Okay, so that's it. And for the key press, it should load. So it's your task now to perform on this option as well as here. Here, when you type the ID, okay, it should display in here the record. You just have to write what they call this one, event handler. You can just key, okay, when you key release, okay, this one, although it's already added. Okay, then you have it, your code here. Okay, it will just select. So when you do the in the database, you still have to use select option, then display. You just have to get the text, but it's now your task to do it before I give you the solution. So that would be all for this video. I hope you can now store it here. Okay, so you had a separate database, okay, and you had the main app for your GUI, but actually you can also separate that if you want to, but since our focus now is for you to be able to store it in the database one by one using a CRUD approach. So that's it, and I hope for now you will be able to solve it. That would be all, and good luck. Can do it. Go.